Good morning, my gorgeous viewers, watchers, viewers. Let's go with viewers. Today we have, can I put you here? Is it gonna, no, why haven't I learned this? This is too low to film. Today we have an upper body workout. I'm at the gym now. I just thought I would start it here and tell you what's the crack with this workout. We are doing an upper workout, but if you guys haven't watched my video that's called My Glutes Aren't Working, if you haven't watched that, maybe go watch that first. I have a bit of like an injury, body not working, glutes not working, loads of muscles in my body not working kind of thing at the minute. And one of those things is that my shoulder is just not playing game. Like, it's playing ball, playing game, playing ball. This isn't starting out well, is it? The shoulder is not working correctly, properly. It's not doing its thing. So I have been told by my physio that I need to basically cut out all pushing exercises. So if you don't know what they are kind of things like bench, shoulder press, any kind of pressing, which is another word for push, basically anything like that. So this is an upper body workout, but it's only using pull. There might be a few things that are kind of like on the edge that I'll kind of like push, but it's basically I'm just trying to stay away from everything that kind of fucks up my shoulder. So this might be a bit of a weird kind of workout. I think, where's my phone? Let's have a look at what we are doing today. Yeah, we only really have one push exercise, and I'm going super light on it because I don't want to neglect my triceps because they're weak as fuck already. So really light on that exercise, but there's only one that is essentially pushing. With my workouts, I don't think I've explained this on the channel before. You might have picked it up from other videos though. With my workouts, I stick with my same workouts for a good long period of time. Like, there's no, like, I don't know, some people might think I'm boring, but this is how you gain muscle, and that is what I'm about at the minute. I don't do what people on Instagram do where it's like chopping and changing every week to keep it exciting, jumping about. Listen, I'm not about that life. I'm about lifting weights, not getting out of breath in those weight sessions, and trying to gain muscle and lift some heavy stuff. So this workout is one of my 2 upper workouts that will be the same for a considerable amount of time. I want to say about like 12-16 weeks, and even when I change it, I'll still have the same core lifts in there. I mean, I won't at the minute because one of my core lifts is bench and I can't bench at the minute, but the core lifts stay the same after I've even changed this. So you won't be seeing like any other variations of upper body workouts. This is one of the 2 that I'll be doing for a while. So my battery's flashing already. This is a good start. So without further ado, I need to stop procrastinating. We're gonna get in there. This is rain, by the way. This is the only energy drink I like. I don't think I've shown this on the vlog yet. I found this energy, I hate energy drinks. I hate them. Like, the taste is like, But this one, this is really good. This is the Lemon HDZ, and it tastes like lemonade, and it's got caffeine in. It's also got BCAAs and vitamin B and L-arginine in. I'm not bothered about the BCAAs. You don't need BCAAs in your life. You don't need them. But it's for the gym, so it's even better. So yeah, let's get into the workout. Hello everyone, it's now Edit and Sarah coming to give you this box commentary for this workout. I just thought I'd pop on and say that really quickly, I'm just doing this in a different format to what I normally do. Normally I edit the videos and then put this commentary over the top and talk really quick and try and get everything in the thing I've got. But this time I'm going to film the commentary first and then edit how long the clips are around this. So if this goes on for really long and you see like the same clip loads and loads, it's just because I wanted to be able to talk a little bit slower and take my time. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you prefer, and then yeah. But let's get on with this workout. So the first exercise we have is assisted pull-up. If you don't have a machine for this in your gym, you can use just a pull-up bar and a resistance band, a really thick one, and put your knee into it. But if you have a machine, it tends to be better because you can change the resistance on it. So I am doing, oh, it's not even pull-up, it's chin-ups. Oh, God, this is gone bad already. We're doing chin-ups. So what that means is you have a reverse grip on your hands. So your hands are under like that rather than over like on a pull-up. You're underneath. This is going to work your backs and your biceps, which is quite nice that it has that additional bicep activation in there. You want to try and keep your shoulder blades pulled back and using your back to pull you up. And when you get to the bottom where you fully straighten your arms, fully relax the muscle and then engage them again to pull them up. You want to keep your core nice and engaged, so really keep that core squeezed so you're not bending at the lower back, because there's going to be too much pressure in there. When you're doing assisted, you put your feet on something or your knees on something, so you're not going to have a need for that arch essentially. So keep that core nice and engaged, squeeze your glutes, so that also helps you keep your core engaged, and take nice deep breaths. You want to try and come up as high as possible, so you want to go all the way up till you've got your head like over the bar or over the handles if you're using an assisted. So yeah, just make sure this is coming from the top of your back and you're pulling up and using those biceps as well. You kind of want to have your hands about like this distance apart from each other, so kind of like shoulder. You don't want to go too wide for chin-ups. You want to have them quite narrow but not too narrow. I did 5 sets of these with 2 warm-up sets, so the warm-up sets are on like a lower weight and then the 5 sets are just the weight that I'm choosing. I tend to go for the lowest weight possible and try and stick to above 4 reps, so I'm not too bothered about how many reps I get with this one, because I'm aiming to try and get it to body weight. So I did about 6, 7, 5 reps on like, and then changing the weight accordingly. Second exercise we have is elbows out seated row. I use a rope attachment for this because I feel like I can get my elbows out so much better and feel like my back's actually working. Some people prefer a really long bar, like a lat pull down bar, and pulling back with your elbows, but I prefer the kind of free motion that you get with using the rope attachment, and you can choose how your elbows come out. With this, you want to have your feet and legs positioned in a bent position. Don't have your legs completely straight, because that's going to give you way more room to rock about with your tummy and like the full torso area. Have your legs bent and then really embrace your core, like stick your tummy out nice and far and keep it really strong, so the only place that's working is your back. And because we're doing elbows out, it's going to work a little bit different parts of your back, like a wider part of your back rather than just normal seated row where your hands are quite close together. So really try and keep everything else still, and the only movement that's happening is coming from your back and your elbows, and pulling back through your elbows and trying to keep them down as well. You don't want your elbows come flaring up too high. They can come up a little bit, don't get me wrong, but you want to pull them back and keep them down as well. Try and retract your shoulder blades down and back, like pull them back and down, and then when you come forward you can relax them. And then again, when you're pulling back, focus on pulling the shoulder blades back and down and keeping everything else nice and still. Try and be aware of what your neck's doing as well. Don't let your neck like stay really tight. Have your neck nice and relaxed. Your back's the only thing that should be working here, so try and keep still, pulling your elbows out for this variation and down as well. I did 3 sets of 12 for this one with 1 warm-up set. I've kept the reps high for this because I find it quite difficult to engage the back muscles correctly if I do higher weight and lower reps. So I kind of stay in the middle and have like a good weight, but then go for 12 reps. Exercise number 3 is bicep curl machine. I really enjoy this machine because I think it allows you to take your shoulders out of it a bit, because you're resting on a pad and you can push your shoulder blades down and you can feel like your shoulders against the pad. That's kind of why I look like I'm a little bit hunched over in this, and you can see me throughout. I kind of push my bum even further back because I want to be able to push my shoulders down, in like my armpits down into the pad. You want to make sure that your whole of your upper arm is on that pad and don't let it come off, because if that's coming off you're probably using a little bit of your shoulders too much. You want your biceps to be like doing all of the work in this one. Again, like I say in every single thing, you want to try and engage your core, so push it out and keep nice and still. You can see my tummy looks a little bit big in this one, but that's because I am engaging my core. Like I'm trying to push it out as much as I can, which is part of my rehab. But push your stomach out to try and engage your core and keep nice and still. You want to go all the way down that your arms are straight, because that's the full range of motion, and then you want to come all the way at the top that you feel your biceps are working. Don't come too far up so that your elbows come off the pad, because then it's not your biceps doing the work. Just come as far up as you can whilst keeping your your elbows on the pad really, and then make sure you're going all the way down. Keep it nice and controlled on the way down. Don't just let the weight just drop down, because then it means that your bicep isn't going to be doing the work, and that point of the movement is the most important part, where you're lowering it controlled down, so nice and slow, and make sure you're trying to get that nice big squeeze on your bicep. In other gyms, the machine might look a little bit different to this, so we have two like D-bar kind of handles, whereas in other gyms it might be a bar, or it might be, I've only ever seen it as a bar rather than the two handles. So it's the same kind of thing, same points. Just keep everything nice and still apart from your biceps, and make sure you're getting a nice squeeze on them. I did this for, again, 3 sets, and I did this for 10 reps, and then I had 1 warm-up set at the beginning. Okay, next exercise is my one and only superset in this gym, because I'm trying to stay away from supersets at the minute with everything that's going on, just so I'm not taking up too much room in the gym. The first exercise is a single arm tricep extension. Again, like I said at the beginning, I went super light with this because I'm not really meant to be doing push and movements, but I wanted to be able to get a little bit of tricep activation in there. So the tips for this one is pull your shoulder blades back and down so your shoulder's not doing any work, and keep them squeezed the entire way through. Don't let it hunch forward, otherwise the tricep's not going to be doing the work. You want to go, again, it's the same as like the bicep curl but the opposite way around. You want to come all the way up until your elbow starts to move, then don't move it. Like, keep the elbow still and push. You want to push all the way down, so you kind of get a little bit of flick of the wrist at the bottom. You can see that I don't exactly flick my wrist, but I can tell that I'm going all the way down, that the triceps doing the work. Like, really like squeeze the bicep at the bottom, the tricep at the bottom. I hate this one because it burns, and triceps should kind of burn when you're working them. So just make sure you're getting that nice burn at the bottom, and keep that core still. Again, like on every other exercise, engage the core so it's keeping nice and still, and you've got a nice base for this. You kind of want a really good base for this one, so feet about hip distance apart, you can see I'm doing, and core engaged, so you've got a good base, because you don't want to wobble when you're doing a single arm exercise, because you can wobble, you can fall over, but you don't want that to happen. You want to feel like you've got a strong base, so everything's still apart from your arm and pushing down to get that nice big squeeze. The exercise that is supersetted with this is frontal raises. So you want to try and make sure, again, that you've got that nice base to start with. So have your feet hip width apart. Really hold the core strong for these, because you're thrusting some motion in front of you, it can be really easy for your hips to like go and your back to overarch. It's super easy, so really make sure you've got your core engaged when you're doing them. Again, the same, bring your shoulders back and your shoulder blades down a little bit, not too much on this one. You don't have to really focus on it for it, but just try and keep your shoulders back so that they're not hunching forward, so that means the trap's going to do the majority of the work, which is this bit on your neck. Whereas for the frontal raise, you want in the front of your shoulder, your delt, to do the work. So try and keep the shoulders back and down, and then you're pulling up through that front shoulder. Don't come up too high. I've seen a lot of people come and doing it overhead. Like, I don't really think it's necessary. I only come up to about shoulder height, so I can feel my shoulder doing the work. Above that, you've got a lot of chance that your trap's going to be doing the work, so try and just come up to shoulder height. Have your arm a little, like a tiny bit bent. You basically kind of want it straight, but your elbow doesn't want to be locked out. You want like that soft kind of elbow, and bringing it out in front. The top tip I have for this one, if you really want to get your delt to feel like it's working, is to pull up through your little finger. Try and pull up through that little finger, and you'll feel your delt doing a little bit more work. Try playing about with where your hand comes in front of you. I feel it best when I'm out a little bit to the side, but if that doesn't feel great for you, just come out in front. It could just be because my shoulder's not very good. So have a play about with where the dumbbell comes to in front of you, whether it needs to come in a little bit, straight on, or out a little bit. But that's all the tips I have for that one. Just make sure you have a nice strong base, really pushing through your core and pulling up through the delt. I did 4 sets of this one. I did 15 reps for tricep extension because, again, like I say, trying to keep it light. And then I actually did 15 reps for the frontal raises as well, because like I've said, my shoulder has issues, so I'm really trying to focus on my form for this one, so I wanted to keep it light and focus on the form. Second last exercise is double-sided lat raises. With this one, it's very similar to frontal raises. You want a strong core, so keep your feet hip width apart, push through your core. Make sure you haven't got a bend in your back. Tuck your little tailbone underneath you, pushing through that core. Then I am doing these quite strict. So I have my arms nearly straight. So again, soft elbow, probably a bit more bent than what I would say in frontal raises. Have a little bit more of a bend in them. And then you want to imagine you're pulling up the weight with the outside of your shoulders, so these bits of your delts rather than your traps. Pull your shoulders back and down so the traps aren't working, and try and keep them like that through the entire movement. Otherwise, when you're doing this, your traps are going to be working a bit too much. You want to try and imagine literally the only thing that's pulling your arms up is the delts. If you need to have a little bit more of a bend in your arm to figure this out, like to feel it better, do it, have a bend in your arm. Your shoulder doesn't attach anywhere down here, so it doesn't matter what your arm's doing, but I feel that I can get my delt working better when I have my arms straight, and I imagine pulling it up through them. You want to feel it right on the sides, so just try and come up. Again, with frontal raises, don't go too high up, just come up to about shoulder height, and you should be able to feel the delt doing the work when you get to about shoulder height. Trying not to rock too much in this exercise. I mean, it's going to happen a little bit, but try not to rock your body too much. Again, you just want your delts to be doing the work. So take nice deep breaths, push through the core, pulling up through the delts. Again, make sure your neck's not too tense. Keep your neck nice and relaxed. Have a look in a mirror, you know, look forward. Like, do whatever works best for you, but try and not have the neck too tense. I did 4 sets of 20, high rep again, but again, I'm trying to focus on my form and keep the light weight, and to get the volume that I want, I'm doing high reps. So I wouldn't recommend it if you don't have a sore shoulder. Try and stay a bit lower reps, but if you enjoy higher reps, you know, do the same as me. But I did 4 sets for this one. The final exercise I did was concentration curls, and this one is for the bicep again. Basically, the setup is you have your arm, your like elbow rested on your leg, and you're pushing against your leg. Not too much, but you want it there for guidance. You want to have the dumbbell on the floor and then lifting it up, just in a bicep curl, coming up. You want to try and keep your shoulder back. Don't let it just completely relax, because if it completely relaxes and then you pull up, you might tense that a bit too much. So figure out where works best for you, whether it's completely relaxed or pulled back. Have a little play about it. This is a new exercise for me since lockdown, so I'm still playing about with it. So play about with what best feels with your shoulder. With this one, again, I know you wouldn't think that you need to embrace your core with this one, but if you don't embrace your core and push your stomach out, it's going to put a lot of strain on your lower back because you're leaning forward. So try and keep that core engaged. You want to pull up again just through the bicep. So imagine the only thing that is bending your arm is pulling up through the bicep, and a really nice squeeze at the top. Again, don't let the weight drop down really quickly. You want to control the negative with this. So controlling the lowering phase, where you're putting the dumbbell back on the floor. Keep it nice and slow on the way down. Not too slow, but nice and controlled. With your feet, just put them wherever you feel comfortable. You can go to, like, don't go too wide because you'll not be able to put your arm in the right position. Just play about, see how you feel, but just make sure that you are comfortable putting weight down into your feet. Don't really push against your arm with your knee. Just have it there to put your arm against. I actually did a drop set for this one. So I did 4 sets and then a drop set. So on my last set, I did my usual weight, which was 10 kilos for about 5-6 reps for this, and then I went back to straight away. So I did my left arm 10 kilos, then straight away with no rest I went in with the 6 kilo dumbbells and went to failure again, because on these a lot, basically on all of my exercises, I try to go to failure. So for this drop set, I went to failure, like I couldn't do another rep. So that was 4 sets with a drop set on the end and a warm-up set as well. And that is all the exercises. That I really enjoy this workout. I miss doing push, but I really enjoy this workout. It hits a lot of places, and I don't know, it doesn't take that long, and I like not having too many supersets in. So I hope you enjoyed this workout, guys. If you have any questions, please just comment and let me know, and I'll try my best to get back to you and answer them the best that I can. If you want to see more workouts, just let me know. Like I said, I'm not gonna do crazy workouts because I do the same ones pretty much every week, but if you guys have anything in specific that you do want to see, please let me know, and I'll try my best to get around to doing it and just doing what you guys want to see and what you need help with. I'll always try and help. So just comment if you have any any requests. Please leave it a like if you did enjoy, because it makes my day seeing that people that do enjoy this. If you do it, please let me know, comment below. And that is going to stop me babbling and conclude the video. I shall see you in the next one, chickpeas. Best of luck if you do the workout. Bye.